everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of Fun with Voice Acting. I am Todd22, and today we have none other than the anime voice acting legend, Mr. Todd Haberkorn. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And there's going to be no particular theme to this episode since he's done so many roles. We're just going to be going back and forth. And
right on.
To start off, out of all the roles that you've voiced, who is your favorite and why?
Well, I mean, it's got to be Natsu, because I've done so many episodes with that show, and I have the tattoo. So if it's not your favorite, then you shouldn't have gotten the tattoo. So that's how I feel. So yeah, definitely Natsu.
My favorite too.
Yay.
And which do you prefer, voicing the hero or voicing the villain?
Well, I've been very fortunate to have a good mixture of both. And it just depends on the day. Sometimes I feel like a villain, and sometimes I feel like saving the world. So it just depends.
That's funny. And if you were not a voice actor, what would you be doing?
Something with animals. I would be. I would open an animal sanctuary for exotic endangered animals. Mm-hmm. I'd be doing something on their behalf.
That's great. Mm-hmm. And aside from Kiroro, who's your favorite Sgt Frog character and why?
Kiroro, because I love Chris Sabat, and I think he's a genius in all things that he does, except the one thing that I would say he's not a genius in is having his focus is laser-like for very short periods of time. But outside of that window, he definitely is like, ooh, shiny type personality. But it's because he's so smart. But he does a great job with Kiroro, and his story arc in the show is funny.
That's great. And let's talk about D. Grayman. Aside from Alan Walker, who's your favorite D. Grayman character and why?
Probably have to go with Tim Campy, because Tim Campy is like borderline useless, but does need to be there, just iconically. But he really doesn't do much, but until later. In later episodes, he's like, oh yeah, he's helping out, but it takes about 60 episodes before he actually does something where you're like, wow, okay, you're earning your rent here, so yeah.
And now let's move on to Fairy Tale. What's it like working with Jeremy Lee?
I've known Jeremy a long time. Working with her is always a pleasure. It's been fun to see each other grow through the ranks and through the years on planet Earth, and so I hope to work with her for many years to come. She's
awesome.
Great.
And as Natsu, what is your favorite line?
Any attack, any fire dragon attack is great. There are so many of them. I thought when I had lightning attack that was going to be a new power, but it's like I used it twice and that was it. And I was like, what happened? Why? So I like those. Yeah.
Very cool. And can you please show us your Fairy Tale tattoo?
I'll show you a little peek at it. There's a little, just the tip. There we go. Yeah.
Are there any new voice acting projects coming up that you're a part of that you can talk about?
That I can talk about. That's the operative word. There are probably 6 or 7, but I don't know, 8. Nothing I can talk about. All in development.
Understandable.
Yeah.
And what's it like working with Vic Mignogna in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood?
You know, when we recorded that show, we actually record solo. So I never actually, even though we have even scenes together, I don't actually record with him. So he and I catch up at conventions or when we're shooting Star Trek Continues. Another guy that I've known for a very long time. So it's we run into each other here and there. It's always an adventure with him.
That's great. And do you have any social media accounts where the fans can connect with you?
Yeah, totally. On Twitter, it's at Todd Haberkorn. On Instagram, it's at @official_Habergram. And then my website, thehabertat.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
And lastly, is there anything you'd like to say to your fans?
Hey guys, thank you for all the support, as always. It has been much appreciated. I'm so happy to be a part of your lives in any way, shape, or form, and I hope to be for many years to come. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed this interview. There's a lot more cool stuff to come, so stay tuned. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.